The future of the Walking Dead games, Telltale or Skybound, whatever you want to call it, today is exactly what we're going to talk about. What is up, Smack Empire? SmackNPie with them group out here with another live stream, aka another video. If you're watching this after the live stream, what is up, Smack Empire? SmackNPie here, back again with another Walking Dead video. If you're new here and want to see more gaming theories, news, and leaks, start now by hitting that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss anything. By the way, we make content other than The Walking Dead as well, just making sure that you guys would know. But forget all of that. I see you all in them chats right now. And today I am joined by everyone. And when I say everyone, you guys are also a part of today's stream because finally Marcus and I got this working. Last time I couldn't send him the link for the chat. Now you can see your own chat in the stream. So without further ado, let's begin today's stream. Today, we're specifically going to talk about the future of the Walking Dead games, the notes, and a juicy inside source that I got a couple of days ago, right after the Walking Dead final season episode 4 release date. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But before that, let me just introduce you to our guests today. And today, we are joined by a lot of people, actually. It's going to be a little bit tough for me. Firstly, we got Inferno Bay, as always, no homo. He is now an official member of SmackNPie, not a narrator, just a member of SmackNPie. He's been helping with me behind the scenes. Inferno, you got a couple of seconds. You know the drill. Let's get this.
Hello, everyone. Of course, you know me. Welcome to the stream talking about a lovely topic today. Check out my channel for more content that I post. We'll see about that, but thank you for having me here at Smack.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you for giving your time. And by the way, this is not April Fool's fake stream. This is actual stream. I just got reminded by Omega and a couple of other people from the server. By the way, Discord server link in description. I got reminded by these people that, hey, it's April 1st, so April Fool. I was like, what the freak is April Fool? Oh, wait, I don't make those April Fool. Get out of here. Anyways, we got two other guests today. The first one is, of course, if you don't know, the solo member of SmackNPie. He's been with SmackNPie team and SmackNPie for a while. And now he went his we went our separate ways. Varu boy, don't take much time. Just say hi. You know the drill.
I'm hungry.
Thank you. And another guest we got is Jan. We have never talked in such a long time. That's a lie. But if you don't know, he's never been featured on my videos. But if you don't know who Jan is, basically he's been a good friend as well as a massive helper of our Discord server from the beginning. He's been there from the beginning, as from our first live stream back when episode 3 and 4 wasn't even a thing. He's been here with me. Jan, you know the drill. You got a couple of seconds. Say hi to the Smack Empire.
What's going on, everybody? I'm just glad to be here with everyone else.
That's the spirit, and I see you all in them chats. Wow, there are two chats now. What, huh? Noli D, I see you in the chat. Tommy and someone said that you got Dom stream to go to. Hey man, it's your life, your choice. Do whatever you want. But glad that you took your time and came to this stream. But let's get this stream started. Let's get this thing started, shall we? And the first thing I want to talk about is episode 4 discussion, most specifically episode 4 ending. We've talked about me, Inferno, in our previous stream, which was last week, that did Skybound botch the ending for the final season? Well, me and Inferno talked about it. Now it's time for Varu and Jan. You got really 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes. Varu, I'm going to start with you. Give your honest opinion and thought on episode 4 and its ending, and what do you think about it? You got 2 minutes. Go.
I thought this episode was really solid. I thought the ending was really good. So my small gripes with the episode was that it wasted Lily and James in a way, but specifically Lily, because I wanted to kill her myself. But just have AJ do it in episode 3. But aside from that, I thought the ending was awesome. Seeing the credits as you walk down the hallway with everyone's names on it who worked on the project was good. And so far, I have the same opinion with Inferno that final season is probably the best Walking Dead season. Also, Minerva sucks.
Okay, I'm just gonna mute you right now, and yeah, okay. Jan, you know the drill. First of all, how was your experience for the entire episode 4, and how much would you give out of 10? And more specifically, what do you think on the ending? You got 2 minutes. Let's get started.
I could say the episode was good, right? Like they couldn't have botched the ending at all, considering the fact that it was not even going to be a thing originally, right? So it was good, but it's like I feel like they dropped the ball on many opportunities. I just felt like there was going to be more. Saying like my expectations were higher, but it's like it was good. I mean, like out of 10, I'd give it like an 8 or 7, depending. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. Like, it was good though. Like, I'll take that ending. I think it was all right. It was all right.
All right, fantastic. Now that we got that out of the way, we're just gonna quickly jump into the chat for the first time ever. We're going before our usual time for the chat, and before I know, Warrior has been messaging me that why he got muted. Bruh, you talk trash about my mini. Anyways, chat, you know what to do. Post your specific opinions and thoughts about episode 4 and its ending in them chat, and we'll read it out here. But let's get to the main point, the point that we all are here for, and that is the future of the Walking Dead games. Now, a couple of seconds ago, Degan, if you don't know, good friend of mine, really good friends, we're good friends. He uploaded a video talking about why we should not force Skybound to make season 5. You can check that out later. But the point is,
Why would I watch Decken?
episode 4 just released a couple of days ago, and people are already, on the verge of, hey, we need to have season 5. We need to have a DLC. Now, while I contacted Skybound specifically on this issue, there has been some really weird response from them, and I will get to that in just a second. However, the future of the Walking Dead games. Now, I firstly want to mention that Skybound, the company Skybound, is the Walking Dead franchise is owned by the company Skybound. You see the games, the Walking Dead games. You see that the TV shows, the Walking Dead TV shows. You see the comics. You see the mobile games. All of them, consoles, everything. All of that is owned by Skybound. And to have Skybound makes their own separate company, small company called Skybound Games, it is a huge win-win for everyone. Yeah, sure, Telltale went down. They went bankrupt because of questionable decisions. It is honestly sad. It is honestly a heartbreaking news. And we honestly wish best to every employee and hope that they settle with some good developers and they earn good. But now that the Skybound games are now a separate entity, are now their own games, which means it opens a potential door for so many Walking Dead games in the future. Now that we got that out of the way, the main problem here is that Skybound Games is not a big company. They are not the big team. Now we know and we understand. By the way, if you haven't read the article, where the CEO of Skybound Games, Ian, talked about how hard it was, how many sleepless nights that went into just getting everyone legally to work on this game. From 80 people who were working on this game to only 25 who finished this game. And mind you, these 25 people work on just 20% of remaining episode project because 80% was already done. It was already more than hard, more than impossible to get all these people together because let's get through this our heads first. A company just went bankrupt. You all got laid. Pause on that. But the point is that these people have no idea what just happened, and they have no idea what's going to happen in the future. How are they going to earn? How are they going to feed their families? And then some other people comes to you and say, please, can we hire you for a temporarily because we want to finish this game? People are going to be like, what are you talking about? Do you even have any idea what we're going through, and you're talking about finishing a game. What are you talking about? So if you put this idea in your head, it is a massive win. It is a massive win for all Walking Dead community, for Skybound specifically. Kent Muddle, James, the writer, the CEO, the creative director, all these people that helped and got these people together. First of all, let's show them the round of applause for the massive achievement that we've all earned together with help of these amazing and beautiful people over at Skybound. So let's get R, which stands for respect, in the chat, and let's clap for Skybound.
Woohoo!
Can we unmute and
Yay!
clap,
Walking
please?
Dead did not end up like Wolf Among Us 2.
Okay, fantastic. Now to the other point, the future of the Walking Dead games. Now, of course, it's way too early to say anything. It is way too early to even think about a potential season 5 or DLC. However, I just learned a couple of days ago from an inside source. First of all, let me just make this clear. When Telltale was still a thing, Ken Muddle, the creative director of the final season, talked about potential upcoming seasons even after the Walking Dead final season. The final season marketed as the final season for Clementine's story, not the final season for all of that time. But even after all of that mess, there is a high possibility. The only problem that I mentioned before, Skybound is not a big company, and it's going to be very hard, not impossible, but very, very, very hard for Skybound to make a big season. Now, the question is, do we really need a season 5 or DLC? Do we absolutely need that? Well, the answer is, of course, absolutely, we need that. But here, what I was thinking earlier, I'm going to get to our guest today and talk about what they think of this. Firstly, the final season just ended, and we should have like at least a couple of months before we even start, talking about future projects from Skybound Games. I believe personally that even if, like, I know for a fact, and I'm going to come to that inside source in a second, but if they want to work on future projects and continue this Walking Dead game universe, what they need to do is make a DLC first. Reuse assets or create new assets, that doesn't matter. They need to test out their limits. They need to test out how much they can create and they can do within their own budget, within their own span of whatever they have. That's the first thing they need to do. Hype that up a couple of months earlier to the release. DLC, make a DLC. Like I said before, regardless of what story you're going for, characters doesn't matter. Make a DLC and market it. See how many sales you get from pre-order. Then wait for release and see how many sales you get post-release. And then compare that with your vision of season 5. Is that more than overwhelmingly positive reviews and sales that we're getting? If so, use that money and budget and put it as an investment and get a little bit of investment from other companies as well to work on season 5. Because you can't just jump into season 5 development without having solid budget, without having solid idea that community is going to be with us. Because let's face it, the episode 3 and 4 that they worked on, they already had these community, these people who already bought and pre-ordered that. So that's just my opinion. That's what I think. I'm going to get to Inferno in just a second, and I'm going to come to Inside Source later. Don't worry. Inferno, do you think, firstly, we need any season 5 or DLC? If so, how should Skybound approach this whole scenario so that they don't end up in the Telltale shoes of 400 Days or Walking Dead Michonne DLC? And we all remember how disaster those were. What do you think?
See, I don't know what you mean, but Skybound got a bank. Okay, they might be a small company, but they got lots of money. They're like partially in deals with AMC with the show. They get royalties from that. They get comic sales. They're even publishing games on the side. They got money for the most part, as you know, but that pretty much just involves them just expanding their whole game division. Right now, we know that, of course, Skybound Games, it was created in like early 2018. So yeah, it hasn't really been alive for too long, but their main focus was on publishing indie games, and they really didn't have an in-house development studio. And I think that this could be a time to go ahead and say, hey, look, we spent millions getting the final season back. Okay, we now have some sort of infrastructure on game development, and that could be a really good sentiment as far as getting, whatever happens, like future content for The Walking Dead. And it's complicated to go ahead and think about that because there are a bunch of issues with that. Okay, you're pretty much, if you want a DLC, it's gonna be in the Telltale Tool engine once again, which necessarily isn't really a bad engine as of right now with the final season. But you gotta think about people who left. We do have some people on the Still Not Bitten team who have moved on to more jobs, which means those developers who were experienced within that engine aren't there anymore. And maybe they still have some of the seasoned, more senior people who know the engine, who can go ahead and teach future developers about the engine. But I think that just might be, wasting time teaching them an engine just to go ahead and make a DLC or something like that. So I would love to have a DLC using the Telltale Tool engine, final season engine, but I'm trying to see how likely that would be, and it definitely is possible, but I feel like they should really just start to put all their time towards, choosing a new engine like Unreal, Unity, most likely Unity, because that's very friendly to indie devs, and start to familiarize with that self, start to go ahead and prototype the next game they want. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a little while. They should not just jump right onto the series it just ended. Give some time, bounce some ideas, prototype, go to the board, and figure out how can we innovate on the series where Telltale failed, because they didn't innovate as much as a game like Detroit Become Human, for example. They didn't innovate, and that caused their downfall. So they have to go ahead and analyze this subgenre of games, figure out how can they make a great product and innovate towards making that product the best it can be. So I would say overall that they should forego the option of a DLC and start working on, let's say, the next new story, new characters, everything.
Fantastic. You put up a really good point regarding Unity and Telltale Engine. Now, I want to point out something specifically. I'm pretty sure you guys remember before Telltale went bankrupt, they specifically mentioned, Anderson, the producer, they mentioned that they will use from now on Unity for their upcoming projects. Sadly, it didn't work, but this is Skybound, completely different developer company. It would be really interesting to see how they would go from here. And they got time to test out a lot of stuff. They could either go with Telltale Games Engine, which is, trust me, I'm 100% fine with it. It's a really standout thing in the competition. I would really love for them to continue that. But I would also love to see them using Unity. Unreal Engine, I don't personally think they would use that because it is, I don't have to explain. If you ever searched a little bit in gaming development stuff, you would know what I'm talking about. But let's get to Jan quickly. Do you think we need Season 5 or DLC? If so, where do you think they should start with?
Well, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, like Inferno said, he did say it's possible, but the question really is like not whether they could, but if they should, because I don't, people may agree with me on this, but it's like whether or not they make it season 5, it's indifferent to me, like if they do make it, like cool, but if not, like I won't be, upset about it or anything, because they did pull a lot of strings to make the final season even finish, you know what I mean? So it's like it'd be cool though. Like I think there could be a season 5, but there'd be new characters and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I can see it happening. But the question, whether they should or not, is up for debate.
Fantastic. Varu, you got anything to say about this?
Yes, I do. All right, so should they like make a new game like now? No, I think they should like wait it out. And for, I guess, concepts, they could like make a special episode or like a special game, and if it does well, then make a full season out of it. And like if they wanted to do a DLC, then like I do have an idea, and like it could be about like what happened to Lily between season 1 and season 4. But aside from that, I can't really think of anything they would want to do unless like the DLC is about like a brand new cast, and like that cast is gonna be like in season 5. But like overall, they shouldn't like just make a new game now. They should just wait, and like when the time is right, let's say late 2021, they can do season 5, or I guess reboot the series, or I guess soft reboot with a brand new cast.
I see. Interesting. And that's exactly my point to begin with. Like, they should it out first. I mean, no doubt community would love it. Community would accept it with big heart, but they should absolutely test out at their own limits, because that's not what they would need at this time currently, but yeah, in the future as well. Marcus, first of all, can we get clap and a half and R in the chat? Because of freaking legend Marcus. This live stream wouldn't be possible without Marcus. So everybody clap it up for Marcus first of all. Clap, clap, clap. Yeah, fantastic. Marcus, any words of any final words? What the freak is the final? Any words you would like to add to this conversation?
I have not been listening. I've been watching TikTok.
My guy, exactly. Anyways, let's get to the second point of today's live stream. Now, the thing is that, you know, I've been very, very skeptical about the ending for episode 4. They specifically went with this ending, leaving so many things open. People are talking about, oh, they, you know, close so many, they, what it's called, the slang of tying loose ends. Is that the right thing?
There's just a lot of plot holes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. So I was really skeptical about why they did that specifically. So turns out, and this is, listen, if I'm saying that I got from this inside source, you could just make up anything from any inside source, but you know that when I get an information from an inside source, you know it's real. So what I got specifically, I'm not going to pull it up, but I got this right here. Let me pull it up for myself so I can read it. When I specifically was investigating about the ending, it turns out that Skybound and Telltale, before they went bankrupt, Telltale had plans for season 5 for AJ. Now, now take this as pure grain of salt, because let me get, because that time that was from Telltale, and the reason they specifically let Clementine live, that is from Inside Source. Take it as a grain of salt. The reason they went specifically with Clementine living, and you see why they let Clementine live, but also Clementine is kind of useless at this point. She's just a leader, a peaceful leader in this whole area community. Noli D, I'm going to come to your super chat in just a second. The reason they went with this linear ending is because they wanted to open so many paths for AJ's story later in the future. The reason we would see, you know, the different style of choices for AJ, that was the concept idea they wanted to put in the game for a potential season 5 revolving around AJ. They wanted to see the community's reaction around this. They wanted to see this specifically, so they could see what the community's reaction is, so they can change it for AJ later in the DLC or season 5. But what I the season 5 for AJ, the things from here are clearly straight path. It is clear straight path from here. You have so many stories you can take it from here. You don't need to add a follow-up to anything except AJ's story being continue, and AJ being in the shoes of Clementine, but doing things entirely different and in his own way. So that was Telltale's plans before they went bankrupt. and they pitched the idea to Skybound, and Skybound loved the idea. So that's what I got from the inside source specifically. And now I would, share your thoughts about this in the comments. And again, I take this as pure grain of salt. But the next question I want to talk about, and I want to ask to the people here, the guest as well, you can also answer this in the comments and the chat, is which character would make sense for DLC and Season 5 and why? And before you ask that, Noli D with the super chat of $2. Thank you so much. Can you get clap and a half for Noli D for donating $2? Thank you very much, Noli D. We appreciate you.
Yay, money.
Listen, money, yay.
She's greedy.
All right. Hey, feel free to donate to us through the super chat. If you can't use super chat, you can also use another PayPal link. Link will be in description. And as soon as you do that, let me know. Let me know. First of all, let me know, and I will follow you back on Twitter, and we can hang out and chat and maybe clap in the future. So yeah, money can do a lot of things. But Inferno, which character would make sense for season 5 and DLC, if that makes sense, and why?
As far as DLC is concerned, I liked Waru's idea of like Lily. I would like to know, whether it be after the fact of, the final season where she goes back to the Delta, probably you can see, her possible punishment, whatever happens there, or maybe even just going, from her time between season 1 and season 4. That could be really awesome. The formation of the Delta, various things like that could be really interesting, and maybe even like have 2 different like episodes, one about Lily if she survives going on back to the Delta, whatever happens there happens, or then maybe even having an extra episode where you have James, whatever happens to him afterwards, where did he go after episode 4, things like that. So I guess those 2 would be like my candidates for DLC. Please, for the love of God, okay, no one, I'm gonna say it right now, no one wants a Kenny DLC, okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree too.
What are you talking about?
No, please, God, no. I know most of you love Kenny, okay, but please, for the love of God, don't do that to me. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't even want a Jane DLC, okay? I don't.
I wouldn't want to Jane anything. Exactly. I don't want to Jane anything.
Like the new frontier kind of ruined those characters, and I'm like, okay, we're done. Anyways, season 5, I'd probably, if they wanted to, my initial, guess would have been
Ruby?
AJ playable, and Clementine as a supporting character once again. That could have been it. I don't know, whatever happens with that, but maybe if they wanted to, just new cast the characters or whatever. That's my 2-piece.
Great, absolutely. And feel free to let me know, Marcus, as soon as I start lagging, because I know my internet is gonna lag right now. Anyways, really great insight on from Inferno, and I'm seeing you guys in the chat regarding AJ and talking about other people from the DLC. Cat Sid Oi, I see you in the chat. First of all, no,
Carlos,
no chronic masturbation. No, we don't need no chronic masturbation. That's sucker crap. Nah, we don't talk. We do listen. We are out here.
How do you live so long?
Listen, we can talk about gang. No, we can't. We can't talk about gang. But I didn't say anything. Anyways, Jan, which character would make sense for season 5 or even DLC, and why?
I guess my top pick for DLC would definitely be James. I feel like him, just leaving the cave and it ending on that, just gave enough room for like a bunch of opportunities when it comes to DLC. But when it comes to season 5, I hope it would be new characters. I just want AJ's and Clem's story to just end there. If that makes sense. It sounds bad when I say it like that, but it's I just want the story to be over. I'm happy with that ending, as is. So it's it'd be cool for just new characters for season 5, but I feel like James would be a really good candidate for DLC.
Sweet, short and sweet. MS Mounts, I see you in the chat. Tommy, I also see you in the chat talking about some Gabe DLC.
Oh no, man.
Hell yeah.
Listen. The only way I would accept a DLC if I could get a face-off between AJ versus chronic masturbation sucker Willie.
He
Gabe.
punched him in the nuts.
AJ would wipe the floor with Willie. What the heck?
Yo, AJ would beat
AJ would wipe the floor.
in less than
What
2
is-
seconds.
AJ already
And-
punked Willie.
You punk-
Yeah, exactly my point. So that's the only condition where I'm gonna accept a DLC regarding
What the-
chronic masturbation sucker.
Someone said boarding school kids. Oh, whoa. What the heck? All right.
Anyways, Varo, what do you think about season 5? Which character would make sense and why?
All right. So, but before I talk about season 5, just like I said earlier, DLC with Lily, like, before season 4, but like, what would be cool is like we saw a DLC about the boarding school kids, and like we get to see like them as younger kids, like see like how Marlon and Brody, like they led stuff, how some of the other kids died. We get to see like a younger Sophie and Minerva, and like instead of like having it be one episode, have it be like multiple episodes, which I think could be fun. Like they can like, I guess, brand it as the Walking Dead final season, the Lost saga or Lost episodes. I don't know. Yes, and like with season 5, I'm kind of torn. Like having AJ be playable, and having Clem be a supporting role, like that would be cool and all, but like I would rather have a brand new cast and a brand new setting. But that's just me.
That's just you, I guess. But when we talk about season 5, we obviously mean 5 episodes. We don't mean 4 episodes. We don't mean 1 episode. We obviously mean 5 episodes. We don't need a solo episode. That's just a DLC. So, of course, when we talk about season 5, we obviously means 5 episodes.
I mean, have
as an
season
episode
5
2.
maybe be a prequel. I'm joking. No.
So what would make sense here if we're talking about season 5? Is there a huge possibility of Skybound making a future Walking Dead game? Absolutely, but in the future, way in the future, because currently there is no possibility of them starting any Walking Dead game in a couple of months. But John Jones, whatever the name is,
John Jones. But...
John Jones, yeah. Didn't Skybound quietly teased another Walking Dead game? I was almost coming to that about the tweet. They talked about them showing an interest in developing upcoming Walking Dead games. And that's exactly why I made this stream. I planned this stream. I scheduled this stream to talk about it. Because there is a reason. The reason we're specifically talking about future Walking Dead games and why we're super confident in upcoming Walking Dead games is because of a couple of reasons. Number one, the inside source. Because at that time, Skybound pitched the idea with the Telltale. So they themselves were interested in this. Number two, Skybound own the Walking Dead franchise. They can do literally anything. Number three, they have experience making this game. There's also high possibility. Number fourth, about the tweet of them showing interest in this. I don't know if I talked about this, but yeah, them showing interest in this. And then number 5 is that they in the ending of episode 4, leaving so many things open, teasing the fact that there is a high potential of continuing this story because you can take this story to anywhere. Now, where's the option? Like the only people that could die determinately are Tennessee, Lois,
AJ,
and
oh yeah, Lois and Violet.
Tennessee,
and I guess
Lois, and Violet. Okay?
Yeah, and also like James and Lily, if they count.
Those are exception. Those are pure exception. We don't need a follow up on them in season 5 or even a DLC. So when I talk about season 5 or them Skybound making a potential season 5 or a future Walking Dead game, I'm specifically talking about them specifically choosing a linear ending so they could open so many possibilities and choose any single path they want.
Yes, and
when
also...
they talked. Yeah, that's why you should mute your mic when I told you to mute your mic. But yeah, what do you want to say?
All right, so we don't know about the other group that Delta was facing against, or like what their name is. So that could be a potential season 5 storyline.
Yeah. I was almost about to come to that in just a second because they specifically mentioned about Caravan people, another group regarding Caravan in the ending of episode 4. In the ending of episode 4, specifically talking about how and showing how Clementine has now in a situation where she is a peaceful leader. If you don't visit Kent Muddle's Tumblr often, I do. I even, I even asked a question, he didn't respond. But the point is, someone asked about the Caravan group and the future of Clementine being a leader. He specifically mentioned about leaving it up ambiguous. So people who would think that, hey, these are new people, maybe they're peaceful, and finally some peaceful communities. We are now getting some peaceful communities in this Walking Dead franchise, and finally Clementine is leading them. Or another approach to this would be another group. Oh my God, more deaths and destructions and actions. That
Yikes.
is why, my friend, that is exactly why I'm super confident in Skybound making a season 5 or DLC, because they had plans with the Telltale before the final season regarding ending and new groups and new people. We could also go back to Delta and talk about it, AJ taking revenge, or finding Lily, if that makes any sense, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, the possibilities are endless. Anyone would want to add anything in here from all 4 of you guys?
Yes. All right. So one thing I find interesting about final season is that even though it's like the final season, it feels like a soft reboot. Yes, and
Okay.
Soft
it'd be
reboot.
interesting if we
Okay.
you get
Alright.
a soft reboot, like it go
Alright.
season 3.
I hope they retcon her leg being gone, man.
No, that's not gonna happen. All right,
Prosthetic.
so like have her be a cyborg.
Oh my God.
All right. Yes. Also, like for season 5, it would be interesting if like the group that was mentioned at the end of episode 4, we play as them.
Yeesh.
Interesting. It is an interesting idea. I'm not taking anything away from this, but it is an interesting idea, honestly, because, like I said before, the possibilities from now on are endless, and I am going to make videos on this and how they should continue the story regarding this. MS Mouse said they should hire us to continue the story. Specifically
Facts.
tagging Noli. No, they were talking about themselves and another person. They were not
no.
talking about us. What are you talking about?
Don't hire that
But yeah.
person.
No, I mean, hey, if you want to hire us, I mean, I got a little bit experience in Unreal Engine, and Farno got some game development experience as well. So hey, we're out here with them game multi-talented. Yeah,
I have some
YouTubers are
weird story
multi-talented.
ideas.
Can I mention something real quick?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
the one thing I'm really like glad about is like Skybound really taking an initiative to like say, hey, we want some quality Walking Dead games. You guys know the story of Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Overkill.
Really
Oh,
very
man.
bad.
All
Such a
those
letdown.
Overkill.
Yeah, and
Such
they
a letdown.
they
I
pulled
mean-
the license away from them because of that, and it really just shows that hey, we care about our IP somewhat, and I really hope that means that we get some very very quality games that Robert Kirkman could be like, okay, it's a go. That could
Like, for
definitely be
example,
really good.
we can have a turn-based RPG.
God no!
game.
Oh, ew.
No, please.
Absolutely
Anything
no.
but that.
Absolutely no. One thing I would like to add here, if Skybound by any means went to open world games, I would absolutely hate that. Because the core of Telltale games, the reason people loved these Telltale games in the first place was because of the story and how limited these things are, and they don't rely on gameplay. They don't rely on open world. They don't rely on graphics. They rely purely on the story. And that's exactly what sets them, the Telltale, rest in peace, apart. And that's exactly what they need. They should continue this whole legacy of Telltale by specifically focusing on stories more rather than gameplay. You can always have any company with massive budget, massive budget and income and invest from, let's say, PlayStation 4 or Xbox, even Microsoft, and you can always make exclusive PlayStation games and open world Walking Dead game. But I would not like, I mean, people would hear, some people don't have no problem with it. I'm pretty sure you won't have any problem with it. But I personally, the reason I got into the Walking Dead game universe is because of its story, because how amazing these stories are. It's not just about, hey, killing zombies. Hey, we make groups, we kill zombies, then we just dead. We all die. Now that's it. Nah, it's not about that. It's more than just killing zombies. It's about the relationships. It's about the groups having relationships. It's more than that. It's an experience of a lifetime. Something that I personally debated in my previous videos as well, in the past as well, that the gaming stories, they provide more art, more realness, real life perspective. They add more human to the story than what you see in the TV shows. Now, I'm not throwing shades
Facts.
at any Walking Dead series or show or any Game of Thrones. By the way, the Game of Thrones is good. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually good. But the point is, that's what separates video game story from TV shows, because the video game is an art that deserves respect, art that actually deserves recognition in mainstream media, and art that we love to the heart, and art that is more like, it is more greater than other arts of medium such as TV shows, movies, and other stuff. But in the meantime, remember, this is all just a theory, or most specifically the guy gaming theory. Thanks for watching, and now it's final thoughts time, a question time, a final thoughts time. You can ask us any question, me,
Wait,
Marcus, the
they can
legend.
ask us any
Daro.
question.
Yes, any question.
Oh,
Whether it be Walking Dead related, whether it be our personal real life, go for it. We're out here
Yikes.
with this. Until then, you're asking questions. Inferno, any final thoughts?
Yes. Oh yeah. About the story thing. Okay, Walking Dead.
Mhm.
It's not complex. Okay, it's just walkers. They're slow. It's not that interesting as far as like game play.
Yeah,
You
like
have to focus on the
Yeah.
story. No one wants a
Agree.
first-person shooter Walking Dead game. There are so many,
Yeah, like
there are
fucking
so many
Overkill
better
sucks.
ones. Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead is top tier.
I have no
I
Oh,
like-
Left 4 Dead's the best. Left 4 Dead's the
Yes,
I
like,
have no
that's
idea who even allowed the
Overkill.
overkills of The Walking Dead to be a thing in the first place, let alone to be out there as a release date. $60. What are you talking about?
It was
man?
$60.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yo.
It was six-
It had to
It was
have dropped
60.
though.
I'm not kidding.
It
It was
got
60 for
from Steam.
Good. Like $60? Nah.
for
Make
good.
it
What are you
10.
talking about?
Nah,
5,
it's like
actually.
non-existent. You cannot buy it anymore.
5. It should be $5.
Yo, they just removed it.
They deleted
It's
it.
like,
They deleted
just
it. It's
removed
gone.
it.
It's gone. You can't buy it anymore.
Good. I'll take that.
Where's my Overkill The Walking Dead story mode?
Jesus Christ, dude. That game was so bad.
Yeesh.
I played the beta. It was bad.
But hey,
Yeah.
hey, it's not as bad as
Minecraft.
Fortnite
Minecraft
Battle
story
Royale.
mode?
No.
Said Ruben.
Skybound, where's my Apex story mode? I'm joking.
Oh
Oh,
my
God.
God. Hey,
Yikes.
only
He
Telltale
ruined
could have
it.
done that. Only Telltale could have done that. No one other than Telltale can buy those expensive IPs and make story mode out of anything. But yeah,
They made
that's
story mode
Telltale
out of
for you.
Minecraft though. Like, let's just stop and think. Like, why? It's like,
Oh.
yes, also like when that pig died, he just turned to bacon. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
You're getting
Anyways,
off top.
MS Mount asked us, I would assume it asked us, all of us, do you ship Clementine and James or Clementine
No.
Lewis?
James, the big gay.
Why not just have her be single?
Word.
It
doesn't work.
No idea.
Doesn't work,
I have no idea why.
You get a plus like James elbowed her twice. I doubt she would date someone who like.
It just doesn't
Destroys-
work. It just doesn't work. It's
It doesn't work at all.
not equal sign.
James
It doesn't
destroys
work at all.
Clementine with facts and logic.
Hardly. Oh my god.
What are you talking about, Maru? Maru, what are you talking about?
He's
What?
rambling.
He elbowed her twice, and plus I read that as a comment. But all right.
Bro, James he was looking absolutely stupid in
I
that
know,
Yeah,
but
scene.
like,
I
he was being a
like,
really
James,
big
are you
hypocrite.
even
He was being a really
hearing
big
yourself?
hypocrite.
Yeah, so like he's like this yanked AJ. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
I don't
Yeesh.
know,
Like-
man, but I don't know why did you disrespect Lewis by adding Lewis and James in the same sentence. But of course, I would pick Lewis and Clementine
Lewis,
or
honestly.
James and
James
Clem
is
at
a
any
clown.
point.
Dude, like freaking James is like,
He's
you
a
know,
clown, dude.
Just no
I
one-
see people at
just-
Walkers. I'm like,
Listen,
is this dude
listen.
okay?
I'm only gonna say one thing, so it would work out for you guys. James is 20. He's gay, and Clementine is 16.
Yikes.
Go on from
Wait,
here.
he's
Take your
20?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
take your imagination from here. Take your imagination from here.
Hey,
The Walking
jail.
Dead
He's gonna catch a kid.
wiki.
I don't know what you guys on about, but he is 20. Clementine is
Dang.
16.
James
That
beats
is
women.
not gonna work at all. Exactly.
Go to
Exactly
jail.
Over him
my
twice.
point.
He belongs in clown college.
Bruh, he
Yo, I
doesn't
want to see a
even like.
Photoshop of James as a clown, please.
Oh my.
Photoshop.
He's
God.
already a clown. What are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's always a clown.
Yo,
But
James.
hey, he got us with one line. If you chose another option, he said that next time you want help, look somewhere else or don't ask me, something like that. But he got us with that line. So yeah, that
And
was
if you
L
say
for
nothing,
us.
he just gets angry.
Yeah, so yeah, that
James
that
always
only one
angry.
line.
The best
Yeah, I don't
option is
know.
just to stare at him.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you something. Telltale, Cat said, Telltale, desperate YouTubers as games. Anyone agree with that? Anyone?
Desperate
Huh?
YouTubers. What?
You mean that one Minecraft DLC they did? Well, the YouTubers in it.
Wait, there's a Minecraft.
Yeah,
You don't know
DLC.
that?
What?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
It had
know.
like
Yeah,
Captain
What?
Sparkles.
they
Yuck.
specifically
Oh.
Okay,
extended
wait.
they
And
specifically
Minecraft.
extended
Was
the
that for season
episode
one or
6,
season
7,
two?
8 just to add those YouTubers.
Was
That-
was that for season one or season two?
It was in the season 1 DLC.
It was season 1.
There
Yeah.
was a season one DLC. What the?
Yeah, there were 3 episodes.
I mean, I never
But
played it. I
guys,
just like
let's
saw
guys,
stuff
guys,
on YouTube.
guys, let's face it. Let's face it. Minecraft Telltale was the best game. Let's face it, please.
I want
you
to
know,
die.
you know,
yourself.
you know, you
You're
agree
not
with this.
vouching
I
for anyone
mean-
here
I
besides
mean-
yourself.
You know you agree with
No,
this. You know
yeah,
you
but
agree
I
with
mean,
this.
Speak for
it did-
yourself.
It did make them a lot of money, okay?
But
Season
That's
one
because
did.
they had like deals and stuff. They had like deals and stuff in the mix. So it's like, yeah, but like, was it worth it? Look at them
Oh
now.
my
Look at them now.
God.
All right,
Okay.
was it worth it?
Toto's dead and like
Oh my
some of the
God.
old
We-
people. They made a new studio.
We got we got another question. Halem T asked us, do you guys think we will ever get a answer regarding Tennessee's scar?
Hell no.
Absolutely not. I don't think they have enough time.
I think Kent will like explain it on Tumblr or something. I don't know.
All right, so like,
Yeah,
yeah, like a
post,
he
like a
burnt
post.
himself. He burnt himself.
He touched the stone.
So,
Oh my God.
also, I would
Yeah,
not
so a
waste money
follow-up-
on like Tennessee.
A follow-up, yeah, I agree with that. There's a follow-up on our previous conversation regarding James and Clementine doesn't make sense. Someone said there is no age for love.
Go to jail. The jail's that way. The jail's
okay.
that way. It's to your left. The jail's to your
Yo.
left, buddy.
That was
You're going to
hilarious.
jail now.
It's the FBI,
Okay.
please.
Okay,
FBI,
May
yo.
Sun.
Yo,
May-san asked-
this
uh,
needs to end.
Okay, hold up. Mason asked, do you think Skybound could do better than Telltale with the short, long-term effects of choices, having more
Yes.
branching episodes? Okay,
Yes.
Inferno, what do you think, Inferno, about the question?
I feel like if they really wanted to, they could. I feel like they really should do
I mean,
that.
if that's the case, then Telltale could have done better with their choices as well. But the thing is with their games is that they wanted to put out so much in short amount of time. That's why they would just mess up their branching system, and it wouldn't believe as genuine or authentic regarding the branching system. I mean, let's face it, Detroit Become Human. No one And I mean, no one can ever top that. I mean, in the future, that's another thing. But currently, no one can top that game in terms of choices. And really good news that Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, and Beyond Two Souls are coming to PC, boy. And you would best believe that I am going to cover every single bit of it because I love that game. But yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about before, that Telltale could have done better with their choices. But yeah, Skybound can do better as well. But I would personally say if they keep continuing this whole legacy of Telltale only having 2 endings every season, I'm fine with it. I'm completely fine with it. And Kat said Telltale is like these desperate YouTubers. Yeah.
What?
Eesh.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, Mason said, pretty sure Tennessee got his scar when part of their school burned down. Do you guys believe in that theory?
I mean, it's the only one we got. So
Maybe.
Good one.
Like, we'll never know for sure. It's like, but that could have happened, I guess.
I see you, Ace Jr. in the chat. And Minerva. First of all, Minerva, you already know. B-A-E. She's Bay. There is no other point in this.
I mean,
If Minerva was,
she is
God.
18.
what are you talking about,
so I
bro?
guess she's
Bro, no,
legal
listen,
for you, I
listen,
guess.
bro, listen. Minerva was single-handedly the best thing that happened in the final season.
No.
Oh,
You were not
Yeah,
gonna vouch for
exactly.
me.
Yeah.
Are you forgetting the main
exactly.
Excuse me, I gotta step in here.
Thank you.
Smack.
Please
No.
intervene.
Marcus, thank you.
Marcus, listen to it. You're a legend.
Marcus
Don't make me
destroy
disrespect you.
Smack with facts and logic.
Don't make me disrespect you.
You
Bench
need
your
She
me.
got red
You
here.
need me. You
She
can't
got-
do anything.
Facts.
She got red here. Okay, she got them beautiful voice. The night will be over soon. What are you talking about? The night
It was
will be
more of
over
cursed
soon.
than anything.
Yeah, like her singing, like her.
It was cursed. Oh my god, it was cursed.
And by the way, she's 18. I'm also 18 plus, so you know we can work out something.
It's
Just
fair enough.
saying.
No.
Still sucks. Yeah.
Anyways, Beppis asked, "Do you think we will see a season 5 in the future? If so, will it be continuing Clementine's story?" Absolutely no.
No.
This was the end of Clementine's story. Are you even following?
Yeah, I heard
the-
it's
Season
done.
5 will
It
be
was
like
even in the description.
AJ or like a new cast.
Yes,
It's
we
even in
will
the
hear
description
about.
of the
Listen,
game.
if it's
Also, like,
if
don't
it's
milk her so much. Like, she's done. Her story's done. Focus on someone else. Like, don't have her be like one of those, like, I guess, brands where we're like, we're gonna keep like milking it and
Yeah, guys,
milking
like,
her for a long time. Like,
yeah.
no, like,
The more you ask for her in seasons, the higher chances she'll actually die. So back off.
Exactly.
Just let her chill.
we don't
Exactly.
need any other story from her. That's why we're so.
Exactly.
I am personally. That's why I'm so mad about the episode 4 ending. But Kat followed up regarding something Jan talked about earlier, and that is, Kat said, even if James went to clown college and got his degree, listen to this. That's a fantastic line. He is too much of a clown to be accepted to
You're right.
become a circus
Yeah.
clown.
You're right. He's a professional. My bad.
Fantastic.
He's Professor Clown. My bad. You're correct.
Fantastic.
He's so much of a
Even- got that
clown.
one.
He got kicked out of the Whisperers. Like, come on.
He's a professional
Exactly.
clown. My apologies.
And yeah, Kat, I'm gonna milk this whole Walking Dead as much as possible.
I mean, speaking of milking, like, if you want to milk The Walking Dead, just like have a season for AJ and like just
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, I have good
if you wanna
plans to milk this. Oh my god, stop it. Anyways, all right. So Sala asked, "Why throw hate on James?"
because
That
he's
is not a hate-
weird.
No. Wait,
He's a
I got this.
hypocrite.
No, I got this. We're not hating James. He's got this hidden skill and talent called being a clown. And we are elaborating that hidden talent and skill. We are appreciating, we appreciate the talent when we see one. So thank you.
Like, he wanted AJ not to shoot Lily. I'm like, what's wrong with you, clown? Like his clownness was like in episode.
He's
3.
just being like a hypocrite, like in general. He's a a complete advocate for nonviolence and pacifism, but it's like
he hurts
seconds
Clementine
later.
in episode 4.
Yeah, seconds later, he's like, if you follow us, I'll sprain your ankle. Like you gotta practice what you preach, man. Like come on, like you're being a hypocrite. Like it's
The
stupid.
thing with
No
the
wonder
thing
his
with,
boyfriend broke up with him. No wonder.
Bro, no, he died. He didn't broke up.
Oh
He
really?
died.
That wasn't
Yeah,
mentioned.
you got it. You got
I
it.
was that shown in the wiki?
Nah. It was
Trusting
specifically, explicitly mentioned in and showed visually. Not visually, but explicitly mentioned in the episode 3, if I'm not wrong.
No, he
because
said
I
that
checked it.
he like became a darker person. Like he didn't say
No,
like
no,
yeah,
no,
he died.
nah, bro. Well, you gave me a very good idea to make a video on James's boyfriend, and I'm specifically gonna make a video. on
And
that.
why
Anyways,
he broke up with them because
Do we
James
really
is a
care
weirdo.
about him that much?
He's a weirdo.
Was
Hey,
there a backstory
hey.
that Kent put up about
Huh?
for
that
who?
I mean,
for James and his boyfriend?
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
there was.
interesting.
There was a
Yeah.
backstory. Kent even mentioned it on his Tumblr. Yeah, I do visit that site very often, and he specifically mentioned about his backstory.
You lurk his
And
Tumblr.
even
Word, he's
though,
not proud of it.
Bro, there's
you
nothing
lurk.
wrong with someone using.
You
Bro.
lurking.
Bro, there's nothing, because I asked a question and he didn't even respond to that question in a long time.
Also, BRB noodles.
Left on red. Rest in
Alright, let's face it, like he was just talking too much. Anyways, Ghost asked, Waru, I love you, don't hate me. Ghost asked, what's your most favorite character aside from Clementine and AJ? Minerva, hello. Inferno, what's your favorite?
In the final season, was
Yeah, they asked us like overall. Yeah, they asked overall.
Oh, goddamn, I'd probably say Violet, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna come to you, but Carson just joined the stream. First of all, Carson, how you doing? I hope you're doing. Secondly, we are from the inside source information. There is a high possibility of a future season 5, not DLC, but season 5. But what we're interpreting, we're just saying is that from our perspective, they should make a DLC first. So that's I saved you 1 hour or whatever. Yeah, and your favorite character from aside from Clementine and AJ.
Easily Chef Omar. Best character development. You can't argue.
Oh my god. Even all right.
No, I'm joking. It'd probably be Violet, I guess. That's probably my favorite character.
Yeah, okay, I see why. Okay. Ryan McGill, if that's the right pronunciation, do you believe that they should add Clementine or AJ to the comics? Absolutely no. No, they don't. No, listen. I listen. Comics are great. I read comics too, a lot of them actually. And by the way, the recent Batman comic came out. It was fantastic. Anyways, what I personally believe in what? What do you mean?
I haven't read it. I haven't been like I'm like behind on the dictate of comics, but
I'm gonna come to you about it in the comic in just a second. But I personally believe the comics would lower Clementine and AJ standards as soon as they go to the comics. That's just my opinion. Inferno, do you think the Clementine and AJ should be added in the comments? I was like, what is the comments? In the comics.
no comics, no TV show, nothing. She's a game
Exactly.
character. Keep her in the game.
Inferno.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like not in the game because she's gone, but
Yeah, and I think you agree with us as well.
Yeah, that's not necessary at all. Like, it's not needed whatsoever, and I don't think it's a good idea to begin with. It seemed forced in general.
It does. I mean, you guys
Like,
remember? You guys remember when there were rumors regarding, oh, they're gonna finish episode 3 and 4 through comics? I was like, that's stupid. There's no point to this. What are you talking about? Finishing Clementine's story in the comics?
I mean,
What?
Kirkman said if he had to, he'd do it, but he didn't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. You just can't you can't set the standard so high and go to a comic all of a sudden.
Exactly. I mean, listen. Comics are great. You should read it. If you like reading in any way, you should absolutely read comics. Marcus here, he loves comics. He even we when we always talk, me and Marcus, we always talk about comics. Is that right, Marcus?
Hmm?
Exactly. I told you. Anyways, Ghost asked, what was your favorite episode? It can't be any season. Inferno, you got one.
Any season?
Yes.
I would say season 1, episode 4, around every corner.
Nice. That was really cool. Jan, any season episode.
I guess the final season, episode 3. I feel like that was just the most action packed in my opinion. Like so many things were going on, but it's like it wasn't like overwhelming, but it's just like it was a really good episode in my opinion.
You did not say that because that's exactly what my favorite episode is. Episode 3 of the final season, in my personal opinion, is by far the best in entirety of the Walking Dead franchise game. Marcus, I know you haven't played any Walking Dead game, but just throw a dark in the dark. Season, any season out of 4, any episode out of 4 or 5.
The first season, first episode.
Hey.
My boy, my boy.
OG.
Yeah, exactly. OG. Because he told me, and so, I don't know, Marcus, if you said that to me, that you got season 1 on Xbox.
I do. I just didn't play it.
Yay! Exactly. So yeah, it was emotional. Not gonna lie, and the reason I didn't like the ending firstly is because they played with my emotions, and I hate when anyone plays with my emotions, especially when they're so genuine and for consistent 8 minutes. I hate that. That's why I was kind of mad on the ending. Sala said the scene where Clementine was turning was done kind of poorly. Do you agree? No, I believe it was a masterpiece, and I believe that if it was continued on the same journey, on the same path, it would have broke me so much. I mean, it already broke me for like consistent 8 minutes. It was really, really emotional. And Carlos, I don't know what you, Carson, not Carlos. Carson, I don't know what you're talking about. Voice acting, it was great. The voice acting is great, except Lily. I don't know what happened to her voice. Inferno, what happened to Lily's voice actor in episode 4?
What do you mean?
Just go and listen to the audio. She sounds so weird. She wasn't in her.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. But like during like when I was recording, so like I recorded with like 2 different gameplay tracks and stuff. So like while I was editing, Lily's voice was like in one track and the other one wasn't in the other track. So I had her like say nothing at all. And I noticed that I don't know what was going on, whether that was like a glitch or something. But as far as like,
yeah,
quality,
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I thought I was just me for a second. Yeah, all right. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what? My God, the Switch
because
sucked.
I don't know like what was up. I mean, Nikki, awesome, amazing voice actress. Obviously
Yeah.
her episode 4 performance is not indicative of her standards. Okay.
Exactly. I mean, he's gonna Inferno's gonna boost it because he's got a secret interview on his channel. I'll be there.
Ugh.
They do this. We gang.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways, guys, do you prefer Howie or Luke?
Who?
Javier from season 3 or Luke from season
Oh.
2?
Oh, I think they said Howie. I was like, huh?
Javier.
Yeah,
I agree.
like
Javier.
it's Howie because Howie. I like to call him Howie.
He was the thing that kept season 3 just like okay. Like if he wasn't there, I just wouldn't have cared.
He was the like you said, he was the only person keeping season 3 to whatever. Otherwise, it would have been
Afloat.
absolutely disaster. I mean, it was still a disaster in some way, but
It was
Anyways.
a disaster.
I mean, that's your opinion.
It is, but let's be real here.
I mean, I liked it. The reason I liked season 3 is because of the intensity and the politics involved within the game universe. And you already know, I like me some politics within the game story. Lachlan said, I kind of think they recreated Clem either shooting or leaving Lee with the whole Clementine on the ground and AJ standing in front of her deciding what to do if you get me. Listen, Inferno even said about this that we don't need repetition here. I believe Jan would also say that the same thing. War would also say the same thing. Marcus would also say the same thing, even though he haven't played it, but he would say if this is the final season for someone's story, a big thing, you would not need a repetition here. But from me as a gamer, as a player, I'm fine with it because, you know, we are exposed to games like Detroit Become Human, games like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, games Tales from Borderlands. What? Borderlands 3?
Until Dawn.
And yeah, games like Until Dawn. And when we see repetition in those games, we know like, ah, man, this sucks. Telltale made it specifically clear. You're gonna get repetition in here. You're gonna get less choices-based stuff. Your branching is so low, limited here. We're out of budget. And still we're fine with it. That's the thing. If they went with repetitive ending, people would have been fine with it. Only if they would have gone for multiple endings. But that's just my opinion at the end of the day. Carson said they should have killed off more filler characters. There's a video coming next week where I'm going to talk about utterly useless characters in the final season. Just watch that video. But this season had so many of them. So many. And I absolutely hated that. Because every single useless character, useless as in quote-unquote useless, they had so much potential. But let's face
40% of the characters in the school were just useless.
Yeah, exactly. The characters were so much cooler, yet they were useless. And obviously, it's writers' faults, not them characters. I mean, the characters are fictional. What are we talking about? Anyways, final thought, final thing, final question. Because this is literally the last time we're talking about episode season. Inferno, if you would put season 4 out of 4 seasons, where would you rank this final season with season 1, 2, 3? Plaz, I see you.
I would probably rank it. Oh God. Probably 4, 1, 2, 3.
Great. Jan, order of seasons.
Order of seasons. Okay. So I guess I'd say 4, 1, 3, and 2. I guess that order.
Oh my God. Marcus, just randomly say the words of season 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly.
He's
my
a
boy,
genius.
OG. He's an OG man, because of course.
Intellectual.
Yes. That's why he's not talking, because he's not even on like inferior level. He's above
Galaxy
all of
brain.
them. Exactly. He's the legend. That's it. And for me personally, this is a hot take, and I'm not saying this just because I like to be a hot taker. Pause. Season 4, firstly, of course, then season 3, and then 1, and then 2. It's quite simple because I liked season 3 more than season 2. Season 1 was just kind of a slow start for what comes next, so that's why it's lower than season 3. And season 2, I just did not enjoy season 2. But that's pretty much it from this stream. And again, if you are watching this, you can also put your thoughts and orders down in the comments. Remember, what do you mean?
I have an announcement.
Yes, go for it.
Okay. Announcement.
This is
Okay.
exclusive, guys. This is exclusive, guys. This
Exclusive
is
announcement.
bonus
Exclusive
time.
announcement.
Bonus time. Announcement time.
Yes. So I am completing my degree in computer science this May, and I've already submitted application to job, and that being as a junior gameplay programmer at Skybound Games.
What?
I think that deserves a clap. That deserves a clap.
Yeah, I believe you're gonna get the job because they love you anyway. So I
Wait,
believe you're
there's a
gonna get the
catch.
job.
There's a catch.
What catch? What catch?
I'm joking. April Fools.
I'm heartbroken right now.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. We don't.
Kick, ban.
Get him.
Easy ban.
No, you did not do that.
I have to do
That was
it.
Subscribe
disgusting.
and follow.
Bruh. I'm gonna ban you myself from here.
Easy ban. Oh
You
my
did not just do
God.
that. Out of
He said
everyone,
April
out of everyone, bruh, out of
It was so
everyone
in depth.
least expected from Inferno. No,
Word. I thought it'd be
I'm very
Waru.
disappointed.
We can't even talk.
Oh my god. Son.
brush. Samah.
Maybe in a couple years when I actually put it
Oh
in
my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
bruh, don't
It's
back
not
it up.
gonna
Don't back
happen.
it up. Bruh, no, there's no point of even. Why are you still talking?
Oh my god.
You
After
doomed your
what you
future as soon as
did.
you made that crappy joke. Oh my.
Bruh, you did not. It was worse than me saying Jan is gay.
Oh, whoa, hold up. Hold up. Where'd you get that from?
What? Bro, we
Yeesh.
talked about this in the staff chat. What are you talking about?
You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, Inferno, you broke our heart today. I don't know, man. I need to rethink my whole life. Why am I even here?
You doomed your
Why-
future as soon as you made that April Fool's prank.
don't
It's
know.
over.
I'm gonna specifically take this clip. I'm gonna specifically take this clip from the live stream. I'm gonna upload it on the channel, and you're gonna see the title of that video. I'm gonna do this right after this.
Oh no.
But yeah, Omega, you are late as no disrespect, freak, and we're just ending the live stream. I know, Salah. I'm feeling so stupid and dumb right now. I thought I would have been the last person to fell for any.
Yo,
kind of
nah,
trash.
Muhammad, he's lying. He fell for it too. He definitely fell for it too. He's lying. He fell for it too.
Oh my god. No, Siri, listen, Siri, great animations. This was not a April Fool thingy. The reason is it's just we scheduled this live stream and it accidentally happened to be on April 1st. And I was reminded, I got reminded like today that today's April Fool or whatever the heck that is, and just added more flames and fire to this. I am so shocked and I'm in emotions full of roller coaster. And yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for joining the stream, guys. It was amazing. And don't forget, tomorrow is a big day. Marcus, tell them what day tomorrow is.
Today or tomorrow is April
Yeah.
2nd.
Yes, tomorrow is April 2nd.
Hey.
If you don't know what that means firstly, all lies on left-hand side. And secondly, that tomorrow, for the first time ever, and this is not an April Fool joke. We don't do that. Only Inferno, I don't know why.
He's
I
not
don't-
invited to my
but-
birthday party.
Yeah.
I'm
I-
back.
yeah,
I'm invited.
Anyways, tomorrow is Life is Strange 2 episode 1 Let's Play. We're gonna try to roast it as much as possible, and we're gonna try to enjoy it as much as possible. Me, SmackNPie,
Reviews. Hey.
yes, me and SmackNPie and Marcus would be tomorrow there, same time but 15 minutes earlier. So anyone interested in us two dudes roasting a video game, feel free to join us tomorrow, same time, 15 minutes earlier. And thank you so much for joining the chat. Thank you, Waru. Thank you, Jan. First of all, let's get a clap. Can we, if anyone's sitting down, just get up from your seat, because I did, and just clap for Marcus, the legend.
Boo!
Changed
Said
the
leave,
standard
leave.
for SmackNPie.
I love you too, fan. I love you too.
Right?
Yeah.
Fair.
Love you, Marcus. He's a legend. He is a legend. So Life is Strange, let's play tomorrow. He's going to be talking more alongside me, of course. Tomorrow is also a very kind of like busy day for me, so I'm going to try my best to do that. But yeah, because of Marcus, the standard has changed for SmackNPie. We went from 140p to 1080 60 frames per second.
140p.
Yeah,
140,
my live stream.
140p.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks to
Pixel
Marcus,
stream.
the legend. He's gonna be talking a lot tomorrow. So again, Inferno, we're still mad. We're gonna talk about that afterwards. But yeah, thank you so much for joining the stream, and I will of course see you all tomorrow with Mackerel Ranch video and a live stream tomorrow. So that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed today's video and want to see more, hit that like button. If you're new here, smack that subscribe button, become an official member of Smack Empire. I'm your host, SmackNPie. This has been Live Stream Podcast with other great people, and I will see you soon. Until then, take care of yourself and family. Stay humble and be grateful, and peace.